Good morning, I'm Kenneth Moten.
And I'm Janae Norman. Here are the top 5 things to know this Thursday. Number 1, Puerto Rico's embattled governor has resigned.
Ricardo Rosselló will leave office on August 2nd. He made the announcement shortly before midnight. Demonstrators have been calling for Rosselló to step down for weeks since a profane group chat between the governor and his aides was leaked. Number 2, reaction to Robert Mueller's long-awaited appearance on Capitol Hill. The
former special counsel repeatedly offered up one-word answers denying both parties the sound bites they were looking for. He defended the investigation, saying it was not a witch hunt, and Mueller made it clear that he did not exonerate President Trump. Still, top Democrats stopped short of calling for impeachment, and the president took a victory lap, saying it was a good day for him. On to number 3 now, in reports that wealthy financier Jeffrey Epstein was found injured in jail.
There are multiple reports that he was found in a fetal position in his jail cell. An investigation is underway. Epstein was semi-conscious and had marks on his neck. He has reportedly been placed on a suicide watch. Epstein has pleaded not guilty to sex trafficking and conspiracy charges and was denied bail last week.
We head to North Korea for number 4, where Kim Jong-un's regime fired 2 short-range missiles into the sea.
These latest launches follow President Trump's historic meeting with Kim Jong-un last month. North Korea is desperately seeking relief from crippling sanctions. Some say launching missiles may be Kim's way of showing the U.S. what will happen if negotiations fail. And finally, number 5, the Christmas season has been called the most wonderful time of the year.
But the most stressful time is coming up for moms and dads. A new survey finds 6 out of 10 parents think back to school season is the worst. Top worries include whether your child will have good teachers, if their child is eating healthy food at school, and the cost of school supplies. We've got so much more to talk about coming your way.
No stress here. It's Morning America. No cereal this morning?
I already had my bowls.
You did?
Already had them, thank you very much.
That's good. All
so
full
I'm
up.
ready. I am
filled up and ready to go.
I had my fruit too, and I hope you're filled up and ready to start the morning with us.
Good morning, everyone. Let's get right to our big story this morning. Reaction to Robert Mueller's long-awaited appearance on Capitol Hill, making good on his promise to stick to his report.
Right, so we didn't think we'd hear too many new things, and the former special counsel repeatedly offered up one-word answers, denying both parties the sound bites they were looking for. He defended the investigation, saying it was not a witch hunt, and Mueller made it clear he did not exonerate President Trump.
Still, top Democrats stopped short of calling for impeachment, and the president took a victory lap. ABC's Trevor Ault has the details from Washington. Good morning, Trevor.
Good morning, Kenneth. Good morning, Janae. Now that Robert Mueller's long-awaited testimony is in the books, both parties are talking about how they want to move forward now. The Democrats are saying they're going to stay the course, continue their investigations, but Republicans are saying now it's time to turn the page.
Following a marathon day of testimony from special counsel Robert Mueller, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi calling Wednesday a milestone.
This is very serious. Today was very important.
But the speaker still not budging on impeachment for now.
I think that if we go down that path, we should go in the strongest possible way, and that's all I'm going to say about the subject.
The president with a much stronger reaction, calling Mueller's testimony a big day for the Republican Party and for him.
What he showed more than anything else is that this whole thing has been 3 years of embarrassment and waste of time for our country. This was a very big day for the Republican Party. And you could say it was a great day for me, but I don't even like to say that.
Over more than 6 hours in the hot seat, Mueller largely referring to the specific wording of his report, though on multiple occasions refuting some of the president's claims about the investigation.
Did you actually totally exonerate the president?
No.
Well, your investigation is not a witch hunt, is it?
It is not a witch hunt.
Would you agree that it was not a hoax, that the Russians were engaged in trying to impact our election?
Absolutely. That was not a hoax.
Democrats zeroed in on possible obstruction by the president, including Trump allegedly ordering his former White House counsel Don McGahn to fire Mueller.
Your investigation actually found substantial evidence that McGahn was ordered by the president to fire you, correct?
Yes.
But Republicans questioning Mueller's credibility.
It's starting to look like, having desperately tried and failed to make a legal case against the president, you made a political case instead.
I don't think you have reviewed a report that is as thorough, as fair, as consistent as the report that we have in front of us.
So before Mueller's testimony, 92 Democrats had said it was time for impeachment proceedings against the president to begin. And then after yesterday's 2 hearings, no new Democrats joined that cause. In fact, one representative telling ABC News, even with this supposedly game-changing testimony, nothing has changed at all. Janae, Kenneth?
Trevor, this time yesterday we were talking to you. You were on Capitol Hill. What was your day like there? I mean, could you see the craziness of the long lines and everything?
Yeah, and we weren't even really near the hearing room, but it was certainly unlike anything that I've ever seen. I've only been there for a couple of months, but everybody that I was around, I mean, we're surrounded by employees with decades of experience in the Capitol, some of them saying that they'd never seen a level of energy like that. And so many people were just so curious about that testimony, and it lasted the entire day. And the energy really never dropped off until both hearings were done.
Wow. Fascinating. Yeah. Trevor, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Anytime.
And Robert Mueller delivered a dire warning about Russian interference in our elections, despite repeated denials from President Trump.
And Mueller cautioned that other countries are developing the capability to meddle as well. He said it's ongoing and expressed fear that it may be the new normal.
It wasn't a single attempt. They're doing it as we sit here. And they expect to do it during the next campaign.
Mueller also condemned the president's praise of WikiLeaks for releasing stolen Democratic emails during the 2016 election, and he said to call it problematic is an understatement.
But Robert Mueller didn't give Republicans or Democrats the answers they would have liked. ABC's Brad Milkey has more on the partisan divide and where we go from here.
Hey guys, yeah, Democrats and Republicans had very different goals for what they wanted from this hearing. And we know by now, Robert Mueller does not care what your agenda is. He did not give either side all the help they wanted. Many Democrats were hoping Mueller would paint such a clarifying, damning portrait of the president that leadership would have no choice but to launch impeachment proceedings. They did not get what they wanted. But if Republicans were trying to discredit Mueller's investigation or leave the impression that the president was squeaky clean in all this, Mueller didn't give them that wish either. Now, ABC senior national correspondent Terry Moran told me that while impeachment might be off the table at this point, Robert Mueller made one thing crystal clear, that election interference in 2016 is not nearly as troubling as what could happen in 2020.
Well, it's over as a political issue, but not as a national security issue. As Robert Mueller said, they're still doing it. They're coming after us every day, not just Russia, China, and other hackers. And this time it's not going to be Facebook ads or something in your social media feed, Twitter bots. They're going to try and hack the count. They're going to try and wreck the credibility of the election. And they don't have to do it nationwide. All you have to do is get into one voting machine and demonstrate that you cannot rely on the results of an election somewhere to damage the credibility of our entire election system. This is serious stuff. It is the most serious attack on the democracy ever. And that, I think, is where the Mueller report will continue to be valuable for people to look at.
And this was seemingly not enough to budge House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. She says Democrats will continue methodically with their investigations, but for now, no impeachment. We'll have a lot more on the biggest Mueller moments on Start Here later this morning. Listen on Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcasting app. Janae, Kenneth?
Our thanks to Brad there. In other news, President Trump has suffered another defeat in his latest effort to stem the flow of migrants at the southern border. A federal judge in San Francisco blocked the administration from enforcing new restrictions that would ban most asylum claims from Central Americans by forcing them to apply in the first country they pass through. The ruling came hours after a judge in Washington sided with the administration on the same issue.
We have a health alert about breast implants. Allergan has issued a worldwide recall of its textured breast implants because of a possible link to a rare cancer. There are 573 cases of large cell lymphoma. The Allergan implants are linked to most of those cases, including 12 deaths. The FDA says women who are symptom-free do not need to have the implants removed.
Facebook has agreed to pay a record $5 billion fine over privacy breaches. That's the largest fine ever imposed by the Federal Trade Commission against a tech company. In a separate case, Facebook agreed to pay a $100 million fine to the SEC. And there's a heat wave that is threatening Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. There are fears that soaring temperatures could cause the fire-ravaged ceiling to collapse. So far, there are no signs of deterioration, but the cathedral's chief architect is worried that the waterlogged stones will dry too fast in the heat and fall apart. The centuries-old cathedral was nearly destroyed by a fire in April.
Now to a change of heart by a school district in Pennsylvania. The Wyoming Valley West School District is now willing to accept a donation from a local businessman to wipe out $22,000 in lunch debt for about 1,000 students. The district had at first turned that offer down, saying some parents could afford to pay the lunch debt.
Of course, the controversy comes as so many got that letter from the school district saying
that their kids could end up
could go to foster care if they did not pay for their debt.
Yeah.
And breaking overnight, an attempt to make history over the English Channel has failed. A French inventor trying to make the first crossing by hoverboard crashed shortly after takeoff. He is okay. It was the same device used this month during Bastille Day ceremonies in France.
More big news came out of the White House during Robert Mueller's testimony.
Yep.
Christmas planning is underway.
We know this because First Lady Melania Trump provided pictures. She tweeted, "Christmas planning has begun in the East Wing at the White House. I'm looking forward to sharing our final vision for this unique tradition in the coming months." 153 days away from Christmas. There you go.
There you go.
Getting ready early.
Yep. Coming up, caught on camera, a man flashing a woman while out for a jog.
But she didn't let him get away with it. Hear what she did next after she chased him down. Welcome back. Now to the toddler's wild ride at Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport.
Surveillance video shows the 2-year-old being swept away on a baggage conveyor belt. His mom says she was trying to get her ticket when he snuck past the counter and hopped onto the carousel. Here's ABC's Lindsay Davis.
A Georgia toddler is recovering this morning after a shocking incident earlier this week in the Atlanta airport. Watch closely as this 2-year-old climbs onto the baggage belt and disappears in an instant. His mother, Edith Vega, who had set him down to print a ticket, realizes what's happened and alerts an airline employee who promptly stops that moving belt.
I just went blank. I wanted to jump in and try to go get him, but didn't allow me.
Lorenzo's ride continues to the back. The toddler caught up with all the other bags where he enters and passes through an x-ray machine.
I was just freaking out, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I hope he's okay. I hope he's just enjoying the ride.
His horrifying travels then send him into a massive bag room where workers quickly discover him riding down the belt and rush to his rescue.
Probably 2 to 3 year old male. He has lacerations to his arm from coming down the carousel.
A TSA spokesperson tells ABC News they will participate and assist with the broader investigation into the incident. And Spirit Airlines says the boy passed by a section of our ticket counter that was not staffed or open at the time. But they are currently working with TSA and airport officials to ensure all protocol was followed. Lindsay Davis, ABC News, New York.
All right, let's get a check of our notifications.
Starting with a mystery solved. We told you yesterday about this burger found untouched on the streets of New York City, more than 1,500 miles away from the nearest In-N-Out. Well, it turns out a woman, she bought 2 burgers before her red-eye flight from Cali. She ate one on the plane or at the airport or somewhere, but then when she got here to New York City, she had that one ready to go. She had
ready to bite into
Right,
it.
the ingredients were separated so they wouldn't get soggy.
Smart
she had
woman.
it prepared, and then somehow she fumbled, dropped it, and didn't know about the 5-second rule. I guess it doesn't exist here in New York City.
So unfortunate after a long flight.
No.
Well, here's a husky enjoying a bath, keeping it cool, getting a nice scrub.
Scrub-a-dub-dub. Dog in a tub.
That's a good one. Next is some life advice we can all use, courtesy of former First Lady Michelle Obama.
She was talking to a crowd of college-bound students at her annual Beat the Odds Summit at Howard University. First, she says everybody's faking it.
She says, quote, "You always think that somebody else knows more than you do. I've been on boards with some of the top CEOs. I've had dinner with the Queen. I've been to the Summit of World Leaders. They're not smarter than you."
Also, she cautions students to be attentive to their mental health, to feeling homesick, having some depression, some anxiety just because nervous, just being nervous, because mental wellness is one of the pegs to success.
And finally, she said, don't blow your financial aid on, quote, bad shoes and nails. She said, in college, you were broke, you don't have extra money. That loan might feel like extra money, but it's not.
Don't spend it on alcohol, ramen, those mac and cheese little packs.
Oh, yep. Don't do it.
Movies, nonsense.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
And that's our question of the day. What advice would you give to students starting college this year? Give us your tips in the comments or tweet us at ABC News Live. Mine would be make sure you go to class.
That's a good one. Mine would be to make sure you live every single moment because soon the real world's coming. And it's full of a whole lot of BS.
Such a drag.
And there's new word about Zion Williamson this morning, the #1 draft pick signed by the Pelicans.
We've learned his shoe deal with Jordan Brands is worth $75 million.
That's the richest rookie shoe deal in NBA history. It's also about twice as much as his actual basketball salary because we know it's all about the endorsements a lot.
Show me the money
for these athletes here.
Show me the money.
So it was a once-in-a-lifetime moment for a special teenager from New York who got to play piano alongside the piano man himself.
His name's Logan. He's a musical prodigy who always dreamed of meeting Billy Joel. Logan has been playing the piano since he was 2 years old. He's autistic and blind. The two of them did a 7-minute duet at one of Joel's recent shows at Madison Square Garden, playing Piano Man side by side there. Incredible, Logan. Incredible. Buckingham Palace is apparently not immune to the heat wave that's sweeping Great Britain.
Not in that old building. Take a good look in the background of the Queen Elizabeth Boris Johnson photo, that new prime minister there. That's also, if you take a close look, that's a Dyson fan next to the fireplace. Upon closer examination and study and research by our morning folks here, we could see it's an air purifier, which according to the company website, purifies all year round and cools when you need it.
The Queen will need it today. Temperatures in the UK are expected to reach triple digits. And now from Britain to Massachusetts, where a mom going about her business, enjoying a morning jog, was rudely interrupted.
A man indecently exposed himself to her in Cambridge, but he got a shock of a lifetime when she turned around and went after him.
Julie Lonchek from our affiliate in Boston has that story.
It was just after 6 a.m. This single mother had the wind in her hair and a smile on her face as she ran down Memorial Drive in Cambridge.
Enjoying my beautiful day. I was thinking, what a great day to be alive.
Then the unthinkable happened.
He pulled his pants once and, I didn't react too much. As he came closer, he pulled them again. Then I understood maybe it's not what I think it is.
She says the middle-aged man reached out to try and grab her, and she flipped.
Was not his lucky day, because I decided it's just not going to happen, and I decided to chase him down.
Surveillance cameras were recording as she caught up to him, pinned him down for 3 to 5 minutes, and implored passersby to help.
With all the respect, people, what does it look like? Romantic conversation? I'm holding him down, yelling, call the police. Like, people just choose to ignore.
Frustrated, the Brookline mother reached for her phone to call 911, knowing her prisoner might get away, and he did.
Good for her. I think she put the fear of God in the guy.
State police say they would have preferred she didn't tackle the alleged flasher, but this former member of the Israeli military says she doesn't put up with much.
I mean, I'm 6'1", pretty fit. It's not very a good victim to go after.
And she's speaking out now so that no one else will have to either.
I told him I'm going to get him, so I'm going to get you, darling.
Crazy story, and she said not today.
No, mom was ready.
Yes, she was.
And she's still looking for the guy.
All right, well, coming up.
A feline frenzy. Here's what to watch out for today. President Trump heads to the Pentagon for a welcome ceremony for newly confirmed Secretary of Defense Mark Esper. Then he'll participate in the one-year celebration of the Pledge to America's Workers at the White House.
On Capitol Hill, the House Judiciary Committee will hold a hearing on family separation and oversight of the Customs and Border Patrol, and the acting ICE director testifies before the House Appropriations Committee.
SpaceX will attempt to launch its Dragon spacecraft after postponing last night due to weather. The launch will honor the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 11 landing. Plus, don't forget to tune into The Debrief for an update on all our top stories and a briefing room for a breakdown of the latest headlines in politics.
So cat videos are not hard to find online.
Nope.
And some famous felines have become the latest social media influencers.
They have millions of followers, hundreds of thousands of views, and 9 lives. Here's ABC's Ashin Singh.
This is what fame looks like. Meet Nala. a 9-year-old rescue cat and the most famous feline on Instagram with 4.1 million followers. From living it up in Sin City, to soaking up some suds, to trying on some new shades, this cool cat rakes in hundreds of thousands of views and likes. And she doesn't even know it. Nala's just the newest queen bee in a world of kitty influencers that have achieved their own level of online eminence.
So is Nala your full-time job now?
She's been my full-time job for 7 years now.
Oh my gosh.
Bringing along their owners for the ride, Nala is now the one paying the bills.
How much is she making?
Well, enough that we bought 2 houses and we have 2 adopted kids and we have 6 cats and a dog.
Wow.
And for these divas and their owners, today is the most perfect day of the year. We're at CatCon, the biggest cat-centric event in the world. CatCon boasts as center stage for some of the most influential felines in the world.
What is it about these cats that kind of make them internet royalty?
People want something to relate to.
Susan Michaels is the founder of the event in Southern California.
I think like these kitties and what they stand for, and even cat videos, people need a break. They need something to believe in.
But CatCon isn't just about the felines. It's about the owners themselves. And we're about to hang with one of the most famous cat ladies of all time, Angela Kinsey, the real-life cat lady version of her character on The Office, Angela Martin.
This is Halloween last year. Just a couple of kittens out on the town.
Seriously, so why are you here today?
Why am I here, do you have to ask? Because I'm a cat lady. I played a cat lady. I am a real cat lady.
Beyond the glitz and glam of the con's most famous cats lies an adoption center. A real chance to find a home for some of these furballs. And I'm finally making friends.
Hey there.
This is Victorious.
Victorious? Hey, buddy.
He's about 2 months old. He just got adopted, so we're super happy for him.
For the attendees of CatCon, today's about living out their furriest of fantasies, strutting their stuff from whiskers to tails.
I think people love cats because cats do not care about us at all. They're like, I don't care. Do what you want to do. You want to take my picture? Fine. Don't care.
For Nightline, I'm Ashin Singh in Pasadena.
I love seeing Angela from The Office there because it makes me think about my favorite scene from The Office is when there's a fire drill and she's trying to save Bandit and she throws her cat up into the ceiling and he comes down the other way. It's hilarious.
Have you guys seen that clip?
Go look it up.
Tweet us. Tell us in the comments. Tweet us at ABC
Second
News
question of the
Live.
day. Have you seen that?
How much do you love cat videos? Tell us that.
All right, folks.
That's it from us.
Have a good one.
Tomorrow's Friday.
It sure is. Have a good one.